So I know it's not just me, but almost every month or every week or so, I have a favorite plant, one that I'm just becoming even more obsessed than when I first initially purchased them. And so in this video, I'm going to go over my current favorite plants. It does change here and there, but these, as of now, are my favorites that I am currently obsessed with. One of my absolute current favorites is this Xanthosoma, the Caladium Lindentiae. I mean, y'all saw that I got her in the big box, the Home Depot plant shopping video, and I'm just obsessed with her. I love big, luscious leaves. They're just so beautiful. And then also the petioles. It has brown fuzzies on it. And I love just unique different plants, which makes it even more special. And she resides in my little plant jungle corner, and I think she looks perfect there, and she just adds some more beauty to that area with her white veining and everything. And I love looking at her, and I have gotten already so many compliments on her whenever people come look in my plant room. So that always makes me happy as well. As far as her care, all of my plants in my plant room receive the north facing window, and I mean, they do great. I got a comment if I give them more light than what they do, and no, I do not, and they thrive just fine. And I've watered her whenever she was almost all the way dry, and then gave her a good drink, and she loved it. She didn't drop any leaves or get crispy or anything like that. And so that's the care I'm doing for her now. Of course, as time goes on, I may change it, but as of now, that's what I do, and she loves it. And she has two active new growth points as well, which I love. And I want to propagate her, but I'm going to wait until the new leaves have fully unfurled, and then I'll give it a go. My next favorite is my Philodendron Melinonii, and I got her at a local shop in Dallas in the Bishop Arts area. I believe it's considered Bishop Arts. It's this plant store called Plant Oasis. If you're in the area, check them out. They always have gorgeous, beautiful plants. When I got her, she was about 5 leaves, and I got her the beginning part of last year, give or take, and she is absolutely thriving. She actually have lived in 3 different places since I've had her, trying to find the right spots for her. She lived in my bedroom, on the wooden plant shelf in there, and then she lived a little bit further back in the plant room from the window, but she wasn't a big fan of that. And so now she currently lives in the jungle corner, and she is just popping out them leaves, and I love to see it. But this is another obviously big leaf, luscious plant. I love her thick stems, and just another beautiful baby to my philodendron collection. I didn't realize how many philodendrons I've had until recently. I might end up doing a video on my philodendrons eventually, but yes, she's definitely a favorite. And then also too, it's not on every leaf. At first I thought it was cosmetic damage, but it's not. She has a little bit of light variegation on one of these, which makes the leaf even more pretty. And then, like most philodendrons, whenever their new growth comes out, the petioles are like a soft orangish pink, or whatever color you want to say, and I love that about philodendrons. And she does have an active new growth point there. And then this is just the moisture meter. Whenever I put in a plant, I forget to take it right out, or I just don't, so that's why that's there. And as far as her care, she receives the same north facing light, and I water her when she's dry. Honestly, most of my plants I water whenever they're almost bone dry, and I haven't had any issues with it. The same goes for fertilizing. I I have fertilizing granules. I'm not sure the brand, I'll have to look at it. But I've used it probably like once or twice in my plant journey. I mean, no specific reason. My plants do quite fine without it. But really, the only fertilizing I've been doing for the last 6 months is just my fish tank water. And they've done really good with it. So I'll just keep that maintenance up in regards to fertilizing for the plants. She dry. My Philodendron sword. My goodness. I mean, if you have one, you just know. There's not a lot to say about it. But the leaves, the silverish tone to the leaves, the thick stems, like the pretty petioles, everything about this plant is so pretty. Definitely one of my favorites, and also too, personally, for me, this is one of my fastest growing philodendrons compared to my other ones. She has exploded. And even when I added her on this moss pole, she produced like 4 new leaves within like a week or so. She was actually in a smaller pot than this when I got her, which was back in February, March or so. And I repotted her in this. However, probably in the next few months, the end of the year, I will have to repot her in a bigger pot. But she's doing fine as of now. And she receives the same lighting and same watering schedule as the other ones. And she's actually a little bit dry right now, so I will give her a good drink. Also with this plant, this is one I cannot wait until she gets more mature leaves, which is also why I put her on the moss pole, because the mature leaves are absolutely even more beautiful than this. And fingers crossed she will be able to get to that maturity size. I'm obsessed with her. Syngonium Macrophyllum frosted heart. With my syngonium history, it hasn't been too great. I'm not too familiar with their names, but I've had the pink ones, the dark pink ones, the light green. I still have a few, but they never thrived. They survived with me or are surviving, but they haven't thrived. However, this macrophyllum is thriving, and I love how she's different than the other typical like arrowhead syngoniums, which are also pretty. But these, hence the name Frosted Heart, it does have heart-shaped leaves, which I love. And just the coloring and the texture of it. I'm very big on plant textures, which you'll see probably in the majority of my videos. I'm always just rubbing and touching on the leaves so much. But yes, her texture, her leaves are just a little bit more thicker, well, than like the arrowhead syngoniums, and I love it. And it's almost like a soft, smooth, velvety touch in a way, just a little bit. But I love it, and she's just so big and luscious. And I actually propagated her as well too in my potting video I did a couple weeks ago. And that cutting is actually pushing out a new leaf. And I do not wait until she's dry. She does not like that. I water her more often than the other plants. This one, I'd say I water her at least once a week, while the other ones I water like every week and a half, sometimes pushing 2 weeks. But yeah, her definitely once a week. She likes to stay moist, and so that keeps her happy, and I want to keep her happy always and not make her mad, because definitely one of my other favorites. My next one is my Philodendron Fuzzy Wuzzy. This is another plant on the petioles where it's like super fuzzy, which is how it gets its name. They feel so good. Is that weird? I love how they feel. She does have a little bit of yellowing leaves in there, but she's fine. I'll clean her up and get those taken care of. And for her watering, I also water her almost on the same schedule as the Syngonium Macrophyllum. I water her at least once a week. I don't let her dry out too much, maybe a little bit more than the Syngonium, but not super bone dry. and then I'll give her a good watering. And she's a little bit further away from the window actually, but she loves it and pushing out a lot of beautiful baby leaves. This is another one where I'm excited for it to get mature leaves because they also grow up to be amazingly beautiful, so big, and the leaves, the shape of the mature leaves as well is just very pretty, and so I'm really excited about that. So hopefully soon. I have to touch her petioles a lot but I love her. Oh my God.